I'm sinking. The bathtub's cold water should be supporting me, but I'm descending, my back scraping against the porcelain. My legs are folded awkwardly, knees almost touching my chin, yet I'm plunging downwards in a tub that's clearly not deep enough for this to happen. Fear is a cold tendril in my gut, but curiosity anchors me. I can't look away from the draining hole at the bottom of the bathtub. It's pulsing like a heartbeat, growing and shrinking, expelling water that shouldn't be there. Each pulse echoes in my skull, resonating with an unnatural rhythm. I try to move, but my limbs are leaden. Panic rises, bitter as bile, yet I'm paralyzed. My gaze flickers from the hole to the rest of the bathroom. The once warm room is now ice cold, my breath misting in the air. The wallpaper, a cheerful pattern of birds and flowers, seems to writhe under my terrified gaze. A sudden, violent spasm racks my body. My muscles convulse, back arching painfully against the tub's edge. I scream, but no sound escapes my clenched teeth. The water around me churns, frothing as if boiling, though there's no heat, only an insidious cold that seeps into my bones. I'm being pulled, not downwards anymore, but inwards. My eyes widen as the drain hole appears to grow, its edges warping and expanding until it's a gaping maw ready to swallow me whole. I try to close my eyes, but they're frozen open, mirrors reflecting my own terror. The pull intensifies, and now I can feel it, a cold, unseen force wrapping around me like a wet shroud, dragging me towards the drain. My mind screams, but my body is numb, unresisting as I'm sucked closer to that pulsating abyss. The edges of my vision begin to darken, the last sight of my reflection fading. Suddenly, the pull stops. I hover inches from the drain, my body a puppet controlled by unseen strings. A guttural, inhuman sound reverberates through the room, shaking me to the core. It's coming from the drain, and it's not just sound, it's thought raw and primal, filling my mind. Feed. The command is absolute, resonating deep within my soul. My limbs twitch, my hands moving towards the drain of their own accord. I try to fight it, but my body isn't mine anymore. As my fingers reach the drain, I can feel the cold, malevolent presence waiting beneath, ready to consume. Then, as suddenly as it started, everything stops. My body slumps back into the tub, my limbs heavy and lifeless. The drain is just a hole again, no longer a pulsating abyss. Water trickles from the faucet, its steady drip echoing in the now silent bathroom. I'm alive, but the terror lingers. I can still feel it, that cold, malicious presence, lurking somewhere just beyond my perception. My mind is a whirlwind of confusion and fear, but one thought stands out: I need to get out of this hotel room. With trembling hands, I pull myself from the tub, the now cold water sloshing around me. The bathroom seems normal again, but it's deceiving. I can still sense that malevolent intelligence, its hunger sated for now but always ready to feed again. The bedroom is no better. The once innocuous wallpaper now seems to writhe with shadows, the birds and flowers twisting into grotesque shapes. I grab my bag, hands shaking as I stuff my clothes inside. My mind races, trying to find an explanation for what happened, but there's none. I rush towards the door, desperate to escape this hellish room, but as I reach for the handle, it turns on its own, creaking open to reveal a figure standing in the doorway. It's me, or at least, it looks like me, but its eyes are wrong, dark pools of malevolence that send shivers down my spine. "You can't leave," it says, its voice a cold echo of mine. "You're mine now." The creature lunges, and I scream, backing away as it advances. It's not me. It can't be me. But the terror in my heart tells me otherwise. As it reaches out, I know one thing for certain. I am trapped here with that malevolent force forever. And then, everything goes dark. My reflection in the hotel mirror flickers, then vanishes entirely. I stare at my now blank face, heart pounding, as the room's chill seeps into my bones. The Grand Victorian Hotel, once so inviting with its plush carpets and ornate decor, now feels like a cold, empty shell around me. I reach out to touch the mirror, half expecting my reflection to reappear, but it remains an abyss of black glass. A shiver runs down my spine, my nerves humming with unease. The room's grandeur mocks me. The gilded frame, the velvet drapes, all seem to taunt my vanished reflection. Stepping back, I notice the mirror isn't the only thing amiss. The room's grand chandelier hangs dark and dead, despite the late afternoon sun streaming through the windows. A glance at the old clock on the mantel reveals it frozen, its hands refusing to move. Panic begins to rise in my chest like bile. I rush to the door, wrenching it open, only to find the hallway deserted. The once lively hotel corridor is now a ghost town, devoid of the usual bustling guests and staff. An eerie silence hangs heavy in the air, punctuated only by the pounding of my own heartbeat. I call out for help, my voice echoing down the long corridor like a lonely cry in the wilderness. No response comes, not even the faintest murmur. The hotel's grand opulence now feels like a grotesque parody, its luxury rotting from within like an unburied corpse. A sudden noise jars me, a soft tapping sound coming from my room. I hesitate, fear rooting me to the spot, but curiosity, that relentless beast, drives me back inside. The tapping stops as soon as I enter, only to resume when I approach the mirror. It's coming from behind it. With trembling hands, I reach out and pry at the edge of the frame. It budges slightly, revealing a crack in the wall. The tapping grows louder, more insistent. Summoning my courage, I wrench the frame off, exposing a hidden space within the wall. A small, withered hand pushes through the gap, its shriveled fingers drumming against the plaster. Horror grips me like a vice, my mind reeling as the hand retracts, leaving behind a trail of dust. I stagger back, my stomach churning with revulsion and fear. The hotel's grand facade now seems like a mask, hiding some ancient, malevolent secret. The tapping has stopped, but I know it's not over. Something is stirring within these walls, something that's been slumbering for centuries, awakened by my arrival. I rush out of the room, desperate to escape this place of creeping dread. But the elevator refuses to respond, its buttons lit but unresponsive. The stairs are a dead end too. The door at the bottom is locked, and no amount of banging can coax it open. Trapped, I huddle in the stairwell, my mind racing with terrifying possibilities. The hotel has become a prison, its once beautiful facade now a grotesque cage. The silence is deafening, broken only by my ragged breaths echoing off the cold stone walls. As night falls, the tapping starts again, this time all over the hotel. It's like the sound of 1,000 tiny fists pounding at the walls, demanding to be let out. I huddle in the stairwell, my knees drawn up to my chest, as terror takes root deep within me. The tapping grows louder, more urgent. It's coming from every wall now, every window, every door. The hotel is alive, its ancient wood and stone bones resonating with the desperate pounding of whatever lies trapped inside. I press my hands over my ears, trying to block out the noise, but it's no use. The tapping is inside my head now, echoing with the rhythm of my own heart. I'm losing my grip on reality, the line between fear and truth blurring like a painting left in the rain. As dawn breaks, the tapping stops abruptly. In its absence, an eerie calm descends over the hotel. But I know it's not over. Whatever was trapped here is still waiting, biding its time until it can break free. I spend the day huddled in the stairwell, my eyes flicking to every shadow, my ears straining for any sound. But there's nothing, just an oppressive silence that feels heavier than any noise ever could. As night falls again, I make a desperate decision. I'll find a way out of here, even if it means facing whatever is trapped within these walls. I can't stay here, waiting for the inevitable. I have to act. I push open the door to my room, my eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of movement. Nothing stirs except the dust motes dancing in the faint moonlight streaming through the window. The mirror lies broken on the floor, its hidden space gaping like a mouth ready to swallow me whole. I approach it cautiously, my heart pounding in my ears. As I reach out to touch the wall behind it, a cold gust of air brushes past me. It's like a breath, a chilling exhale that seems to fill the room with an almost palpable malevolence. Then, without warning, the mirror shatters completely, its broken pieces scattering across the floor. In their place, a face appears on the wall, its features twisted in silent screams of agony. It's a ghostly visage, etched into the very stone itself, its eyes filled with an endless, consuming darkness. I stumble back, terror gripping my soul like a vice. The face, it's me, or at least, what I would look like if I were trapped here forever, my spirit bound to this place against my will. As the realization dawns on me, the hotel seems to sigh in relief, its ancient bones creaking as if finally at peace. But I'm not fooled. This isn't over. It can never be over. Because now, I know what truly lurks within these walls. And it's not just one thing, it's all of us, every person who has ever stayed here. Our souls forever bound to this place against our will. And as the sun sets on another day, I hear the tapping again. But this time, it's coming from inside me. The hotel's secret has claimed another victim, and I am now a part of its eternal, horrifying legacy. I wake up in an unfamiliar bed, my body heavy, head pounding like I've slept for days. The room is dimly lit, curtains drawn tight against the sun. This isn't my home, yet it's eerily familiar. A hotel? But which one? The air is thick with a strange scent, dusty and sweet, reminiscent of old books and forgotten memories. My eyes dart around the room, taking in the antique furniture, the faded wallpaper, the clawfoot tub visible through an open door. A sense of dread begins to creep into my mind, like a shadow growing longer as the sun sets. I try to sit up, but my limbs feel leaden, uncooperative. Panic surges in my chest, a hot flash that makes me break out in a cold sweat. I manage to swing my legs over the side of the bed, my breath ragged in my ears. The room spins slightly, and I clench my jaw against the nausea. As my vision steadies, I notice something odd about the wallpaper. The pattern is repeating, yes, but not quite correctly. It's as if someone has cut out sections and replaced them haphazardly, creating a strange, disorienting puzzle that makes my eyes water when I try to focus on it. My ears pick up a faint sound from somewhere in the hotel, a soft, rhythmic tapping, like footsteps, but wrong. Too slow, too deliberate, as if each step is measured, calculated. A shiver runs down my spine, and I force myself to stand, my knees threatening to buckle beneath me. I take a tentative step towards the door, my heart pounding in my ears like a drum roll. The tapping stops abruptly, leaving behind an almost painful silence. My hand hovers over the doorknob, hesitating. What if I'm not alone? But what choice do I have? The knob turns smoothly under my trembling hand, and I push open the door, revealing a long, dimly lit hallway. The same strange wallpaper lines the walls here, the disorienting pattern sending shards of pain through my eyes when I look at it for too long. The tapping resumes, louder now, echoing down the hall like a macabre metronome. It's coming from one of the rooms further down, towards the end of the hallway. I take a deep breath, steeling myself, and start to walk towards it. As I move closer, the tapping seems to speed up, growing faster and more insistent. My pulse races in response, my breath's coming in short gasps now. The room is close, just a few steps away, but every step feels like walking through thick mud, my feet leaden and sluggish. I reach out a shaking hand, grasping the doorknob of the room from which the sound emanates. It's ice cold to the touch, and I can't help but think that no amount of heat could ever warm it up. The tapping stops again, leaving only the sound of my ragged breathing echoing in my ears. The door creaks open slowly, revealing a scene so chilling it freezes me where I stand. The room is identical to mine, but the bed is occupied. A figure lies there, face down, its body completely still. It's not moving, but it's not quite right either. The hair on my neck stands up as I realize that this figure, this person, has no head. A soft sound makes me jump, a low, guttural moan coming from the throatless body. It's alive. Somehow, impossibly, it's still alive. My stomach churns, and I slap a hand over my mouth to keep from vomiting. The figure moves suddenly, rolling onto its back with a sickening thud. Its body is wrong. The limbs are twisted at unnatural angles, the skin stretched taut over bones that seem too large for the flesh they're encased in. But worst of all, there's something growing out of its chest, a grotesque parody of a head, eyes milky and blank, mouth open wide in a silent scream. I stumble back, horror coursing through me like electricity, my heart hammering wildly. The thing, it's looking at me. No, not just looking, reaching out for me, its boneless arms stretching across the room as if they have minds of their own. I turn to run, panic surging through me like a tidal wave. But it's too late. I feel something cold wrap around my ankle, pulling me back. I look down in terror to see one of those boneless arms wrapped tightly around my leg, its fingers digging into my skin with alarming strength. I struggle, kicking out wildly, but it's no use. The grip tightens, and I'm pulled inexorably closer to that horrifying abomination. As I fall to the ground, my face inches from those blank, milky eyes, I realize the true horror of this place. This isn't just a hotel, it's a trap. And once you check in, you can never leave.